everyone, it's Jenny here and welcome back to a brand new video on my channel. Today's video is going to be a concert report about the Gazette's performance in London last week. They came to Camden on the 11th of June and performed at the Electric Ballroom. So I thought I'd let you guys know about my thoughts about the concert and my pros and cons about being at the concert. So let's go. I travelled overnight to London and I got to my hotel at about, I'd say 11 o'clock at night. And about midnight, I got a message on Facebook saying that people were already queuing outside the venue, which is absolute madness. I was planning on queuing outside the Electric Ballroom quite early on in the day, but I didn't realise people were actually camping outside the Electric Ballroom, which is insane, but I'm not surprised because the Gazette fans are like hardcore fans in a good way. They're absolutely amazing. I met quite a lot of Gazette fans in the line at the concert and everyone was just so sweet and loving. Like, it didn't matter if you knew the Gazette from when they first started to like only knowing them a few weeks ago. Everyone was just absolutely lovely. Now, I got to the Electric Ballroom at about 11 AM, which I thought was early for me to get there, because I didn't realise that the line was going to be so long. And as I got to the entrance of the Electric Ballroom, I could see like a little group of people sat outside, but I didn't realise that the queue continued behind them. As I'm walking and walking, I could see the line getting longer and longer and longer, and I thought, oh my god, the organisation of this is just going to go tits up. It's just going to go all wrong, things are just going to happen, and I was getting a bit like anxious and stuff, but luckily enough, my friend Katie, who I've been chatting with on Twitter, accompanied me to the concert and we queued up together. We had a lot of fun in the queue, talking with each other, talking to other fans. We signed banners, flags, notebooks that a lot of fans had brought as like fan projects for the band to say thank you for coming, and it was also Writer and Yuruha's birthdays around about that time, so we also sent them birthday messages, and obviously me being me, I wrote like novels of messages to send to the guys because I absolutely love this band to death, and without their music, you know, I love their music. So it got to, the plan is that the venue was going to open at 6 o'clock for the VIPs, and then the general admission would then go in at 7 for the show to then start at 8. I was a bit concerned because on my ticket it said that the meet and greet was going to be before the concert, so I was a bit worried about how many VIPs are there, because as people were walking down the queue, the two girls that were organising the lines were writing numbers on the VIP ticket holders' hands, so we could easily separate who was VIP and who was general admission. And it kept going up to like 300, and I'm like, how many VIP tickets are there? Because at the time I didn't know the venue capacity was 1,500, so I guess 300's round about the right number of people for VIP. And the problem is that luckily enough these girls did the organisation of the lines, because the Electric Ballroom, as much as it was an alright venue, it didn't have any organisation in terms of the lines. There was no like messages sent out from the event Facebook page just to say like, this is how we're going to be dealing with the VIP and everything. And then obviously the lines got organised. I was happy I wasn't too far back. I was happy that I knew I'd be able to get a decent view of the actual concert, because me being 5'3", I never have much luck being able to physically see a band performing on stage. So we're just about to queue in. It gets to about 5:45, and then suddenly it's VIP and then Heresy and then general admission. So that was a whole other confusion. VIP holders were also Heresy. They were like, what's happening? Do I need to go and get a wristband to say I'm Heresy as well? And there was a bit of confusion about that, and it got a few people riled up, but at the end it all got organised and I got to the venue. I had my bag check, I got my ticket scanned, and then I went straight to the merch, because obviously I don't know whether I'm ever going to see the Gazette again, so I obviously had to get my merchandise. I put money away specifically for that day to specifically get merchandise. I didn't care if I went without food, I had to get merchandise. So I got this t-shirt. I don't know if you can see the back. That was the, oh god, sorry guys. This was the t-shirt that I got, if you can see it. If not, I'll put like a better image here of the t-shirt. And then I also got, the one thing that I wanted to get was the little teddy bear keychains that are designed by each member. So I got Yuruha's bear, I've kept it in the packaging because I'm kind of concerned that I'm going to like wear and tear it if I put it out of its packaging. And then we also got a free VIP gift, which I thought was a lot bigger than I thought it would be. From what I could tell, I thought it was just going to be like a little towel or something, but no, it is a big massive banner. Now, I don't really know what to do with it, really. I don't know what to do with it, because I've got nowhere really to hang it where I'm living at the moment. I'm living at my mum's house temporarily until I save up for a place, which I'm planning on moving in the next few months. So I'll probably have that pinned up on the wall or something. But I was very, very happy with the merch that I got. If I could have afforded more, I would have bought more, but sadly I didn't. And then after that, I went straight to the bar, got a pint, which was £5. £5 for a pint of normal beer. But that's London prices for you. I'm from the north of England, and a normal pint for me would be £3. So paying nearly double the amount in London was a rip-off, in my opinion, but not surprising. And then I went straight to the stage, and I was about second row back, which I'm so happy about. And then the band came on stage. Like, the hour-long wait after the general admission came in was probably the longest hour I've had to wait in my entire life. And it was just, I was like, we've got 25 minutes left. We've got 23 minutes left. 19 minutes, and I was getting so frustrated. I was like, please let the band come out. And then it got to 8 o'clock, and suddenly the staff were still organising the instruments on the stage. Like, they had so many frigging guitars on stage. I was thinking, do they need that many guitars? And it got to like 8:10, and I was like, what's happening? When are they coming on stage? And I think they got on about like 8:20, which was fine. I just remember making jokes in the crowd thinking, the guys are probably just sat at the back, like just chilling out, like, oh, we don't need a rush, that's fine. But, and then the Gazette came out on stage, and I was just like, it still feels surreal, like I've seen them in person. From what I can remember Aoi coming out first, kind of like waving, and then Kai was like, hey, and he was like at the back, and then, oh my god, Yuruha came out, and he was like on my side of the stage for like 80% of the concert, and I was like, oh my god, I'm going to be seeing Yuruha for like most of the concert, like, oh my god. And then Ruki came out, and then suddenly it was like, yeah, this is it, they're here, we're starting. And I was like, for some reason I thought I was going to cry, but I actually didn't, which I'm really, really surprised about. But then they opened up with like Falling, and I was like, oh my god, I love this song. And I was like, oh my god, because before the concert I had like a discussion of like which old songs I'd like them to perform. I was like, I love them to do Vortex or the Suicide Circus, or they did another song I can't remember. They did Filth and the Beauty. Oh, it was just absolutely phenomenal. Like, the whole concert was just, it was great. Like, oh my god, I didn't really care, but people were headbanging right next to me and kind of like making me feel more squished in the crowd. I was like, I shouldn't complain, I'm here. Like, I've waited fucking 10 years to be here to see the band, and I was just like in awe. My beer had already gone, I'd already drank it, and I'm like, I'm overheating, but I don't care because they're right in front of me. The set list was great. They did a mixture of their new album as well as older songs. They did Inside Beast as well. That was another one that I was really happy that they performed. And obviously when they were performing Vortex, there's me just jumping. I felt like I probably wasn't, but I felt like I was jumping a lot higher than everybody else, just shouting, "Shut the fuck up, jackass!" Oh god, I've never swore so violently and aggressively in my life. And then the key moment that I have locked in my brain forever was Yuruha giving me eye contact. Oh my god. I was like, I nearly wanted to, you know what, I could have died happy that day in that moment when Yuruha, like, I can't remember what song it was. It was either Vortex or the song afterwards. I think it was Dogma. It was either Vortex or Dogma, because I was going like proper like hardcore, like jumping about. I couldn't headbang because my head was getting dizzy doing it, but I was like jumping and shouting and being like, shut the f-, and then suddenly Yuruha's just stood there like with his guitar, just going. like his cute little laugh, and I'm just stood there like looking, thinking, he's looked at me. He has actually looked at me. And I let it sink in for a second, and then I turned around to Katie, stood behind me. She was like, so like she gave me the confirmation that Yaruha had actually stared right me dead in the eye, and I wanted to fall on the floor like jelly. It was, I love him so much. But no, the whole concert was just amazing. Like, the guys were like having so much fun. Like, Raita also stood out. Like, he was doing like so much, like, I can't describe it. Like, he was just so interactive on stage with the audience. Aoi was kind of like very like cool and demure and kind of like smiling out at the audience. Obviously Ruki was in a world of his own with like the hands and he licked his hand at one point. He was like that, and I'm like, oh my god, oh my god. And then Kai, like sadly from where I was stood, I couldn't really see Kai properly from when he was like banging his drums and stuff. But then luckily at the end of the concert he came out and he was like waving to everyone and took a photo with the crowd. And it was probably, I don't really care because I knew that I was there, but it was probably the most derpy photo that I've ever been in, if you can see from. But at the same time, I've appeared on Kai's Instagram. Like, I'm official. Like, I've been on an official J Rockers Instagram. So, anyway, where was I? So obviously the concert, it wasn't a majorly long concert. I think the concert was meant to last around just under 2 hours. So when it did finish, I was like, no! And then I was like, shit, it's the meet and greet. Now, the staff just kind of shouted out, oh, whoever the meet and greet are, stay at the start of the stage. You won't go to the band will come to you. And I'm like, oh, if only they would, but no. They kind of like organised us into a line, like close to the doorway that led to the corridor to go up the stairs to meet the band. And then obviously the line was getting slower and slower. So I went round a corner, up a staircase, and I thought this line's going to go on forever. And then suddenly I looked around the corner and I could see Ioi and Raita. And I was like, fuck. Because I had these things planned in my head of what I wanted to say to them in the meet and greet. So obviously the order was Ioi, Raita, Ruki, Kai, and then Yaruha. Okay. So obviously I got to the start, and then obviously, because the thing is, the first member that you speak to, I think it's kind of like the practice round where you kind of practice being able to speak to them and everything. I got to Ioi, shook his hand, and I said, I think I said arigato, just thank you for coming. And he was just like nodding, like, yeah, thank you. And then I got to Raita. I also said thank you in Japanese, and then I said welcome to London, and then he did that, and I was like, yeah, dude, like, oh my god, he was so lovely. Like, Raita was such a lovely bloke. He's so nice. And then I got to Ruki, and then obviously, like, I kind of expected Ruki to not be as smiley, but I was like, thank you so much. Thank you. Arigato. Like, my words just, like, poured out of my mouth, and I, like, shook his hand. He was like, I could see him smiling, going, thank you. And I was like, I've made Ruki smile. That's all I needed in life. That's fine. And then I got to Kai, and I don't know what he was on. He must have been on sugar or something, because he was just constantly laughing and smiling. And I just like shook his hand, but I was like looking at his dimples, and I thought, oh my god, he is so fucking cute. He is so fucking cute. So I'm shaking his hand, and I said, arigato. And I wanted to say something else, because he's one of my favourite members. So I called him cute in Japanese, and he just started laughing and started blushing, and I'm like, oh my god. Like, why are you so embarrassing, Jen? Like, why are you so embarrassing? And then obviously I got to Yaruha at the end, and I thought, he's already made eye contact with me, it's going to happen again. And I wanted to try and wish him happy birthday in Japanese, which is Tangyobi omodeto. And I like shook his hand, I said arigato, and then I was like, Tangyobi omodeto. And he just started laughing and smiling, and I was like, but like, I was just happy. Like, I just felt like, probably not, but I felt like we were like kindred spirits meeting that day. But then obviously I walked out, got outside to the venue, and I just stood there thinking, I've met the Gazette. Like, I've met the Gazette. But it was just, oh my god, it was such a phenomenal concert. Like, I couldn't fault it. Like, I couldn't be one of those people complaining about the littlest things, because the concert was absolutely amazing. I loved it. And if they come to London again, I'm definitely going. If they come to France, I'm going to fucking travel to France. I do not care. But the concert was just absolutely phenomenal. I had so much fun. I felt so included as a fan. The band was just absolutely lovely. And I couldn't complain. The only complaints that I had was obviously the line organisation, but I think that's a given at any frigging concert now these days. If you're separating general admission and VIP, it just happens, like, you can't help it. But then the only other downside was that the security at the venue was so fucking rude. Like, obviously I got into the venue, they were lovely getting in, and obviously we got to the front. Luckily the security guard stood in front of me on my side of the stage, was very, very accommodating. He was lovely. He was like speaking to everyone, asking if they were okay. He was constantly passing cups of water back. It was great. Like, he looked after us. He was so lovely. And then obviously afterwards, the security were then suddenly, they snapped. I think there was a curfew for the building. I think the concert finished at just after 10 o'clock. The building had to, apparently saw on my ticket, the curfew for the building to open till was 11 o'clock. So I was like, how the hell are they going to get 300 people organised into... Because the wait was so long, like, I don't know what had happened. There must have been, like, getting the band straight off and into the meet and greet, which is fine. But then the staff were like, single line! And I'm like, I am, dude. Like, I'm going. Like, I'll just go into the line. I'm fine. Like, I got into the line. I was fine. Luckily, I was close enough to the door to open up to the meet and greet. Obviously, I think they cut the line off into sections, so it was easier to meet them and everything. And then as soon as I got outside, like, got down the stairs and back into, like, the main stage area, security was shouting, you have to leave now, you have to get out now, you have to leave. And I'm like, whoa, I've literally just come down the fucking stairs, like, give me a chance to get out the building. Luckily my friend Katie was already out, so I didn't have to, like, wait behind for anyone. But I remember there was a girl stood, like, to the side waiting for her friend to come back from the bathroom, and the security guy was like, oh, I told you, you had to leave now. And she's like, I'm waiting for my friend in the toilet. He was like, all right then. And I'm just thinking, like, I know you probably get tired out on a shift, but there's like, it's like customer service, just be nice to people. And apparently it seems to be the same thing for, like, every other European to a day after that, like, security just being really rude and pushing people through. So I really hope that next time, like, better staff are employed, or better venues. I mean, the Electric Ballroom was fine, there was no trouble with that. I think a few people had, like, sound issues from, like, hearing Ruki's vocals and, like, the musical arrangement and everything. I didn't have an issue because I'm partially deaf as it is, but I didn't have any issues with that. But hopefully, with them knowing how much of a big, massive fan demand that they have in Europe, obviously this is their first European tour in God knows how long, so I wouldn't be surprised that they were kind of letting themselves into something that they weren't majorly prepared for. But I think it's just more down to the venue and its organisation itself. The Japanese staff were lovely, the Gazette were lovely, people that were working with the Gazette were lovely. It was just the venue and the staff. They were just completely rude. But apart from that, I had a fantastic time at the Gazette. I also met some amazing cosplayers. I can't believe I nearly forgot to mention it. I met 2 cosplayers. I actually follow them, so if you follow them on Instagram, I actually took a photo with them, and oh my god, they were cosplaying as Ruki and Reiter, and for a moment I actually thought it actually was them. Like, far away, I was thinking, they can't have been coming out to the queue to, like, chat to people, but no, there were 2 cosplayers, and they were absolutely phenomenal. And I think they've been to every European concert date in the cosplay. And I'm thinking, how the hell are you going to these metal concerts wearing, like, what you were wearing? Like, the wigs, the makeup, absolutely phenomenal. I have so much respect, because, I mean, I've only just started cosplaying myself, so to see them cosplay, like, to the nines, like Ruki and Reiter, it was absolutely phenomenal. And it felt like meeting them for a little bit, you know. They were really, really lovely. You know, I said thank you, they were absolutely lovely. So thank you for taking a photo with me, and I hope you had a lot of fun at the other Gazette concerts. But that is a wrap for my concert video, my concert report. If you have any more questions about any of the things that happened in the concert that I may have missed out, please put them down in the comments down below. I haven't been talking about the Gazette concert a lot on my Idol Twitter, which is here, but I do have like a more personal Twitter where I fangirl more on there. So if you want to follow that one for more of my Gazette fangirling, you can follow me on there where I'm a lot more active talking with other Gazette members. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a fantastic night or day wherever you are. And until I see you in my next video,